Where the fuck has, like, numbers there? What if it's just the faceless state ID? We just don't know what it is. 192. So I was thinking, I think the original thought we had was that it was like some kind of like IP address or something. Yeah. But I remember we looked it up. Let me re-look it up just in case. If I just search the thing in Google, it doesn't do anything. But like, whatever. I mean, it could be. I could do IP location 19.20, but 2023.3. Not a valid IP address. Not a valid IP address. Okay, so that's probably out the window. The MAC addresses look like. Nah, it's not a MAC address. Ay, ay, ay. $19.20. Music's too much. One 92020. Trying to think where there might be like some fucking funky shit. Nothing here. What do we know about Penrith? Google Penrith TA. The banking company. Nothing really, I'll be honest. Nothing special. What is this fucking music? How did I get to this? Put the midnight back on. STTWC. If we can fucking find out what this is, then we can put a stop to the fucking faceless. And then we take, you know, we take one of them off the table. Sophisticated. Timeless. I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for inspiration. STTWC. Thing is, they're supposed to be like a group of code breakers, right? So they tweet something out. It's likely going to be like encrypted or something. So like relying on the letters or the fucking numbers isn't even like a guarantee.
No, the 1970s light fixture.
Where do we go with this, man? What about? Only because I've just seen a fucking thing of them. Let's see what we can do without that. Treason! Treason! Where am I going? Oh, yeah. Okay, I didn't care. I've been here a hot minute. Oh. I can't remember what's on these TVs. I'm gonna go to Life Invader too. Let's go to Life Invader. Trust us, we know. That's it? Oh, there's books here. Hey, what the? Lifetime Achievement Awards. What is this? This is great. When Tessa jumped down behind Bobby Charles and stabbed him while he was giving us a speech about him running for mayor. When I smuggled Doc's guns out of the prison. What the? This is cool. Most likely to stand on business. Sending more DLC to ICU. Most guard likely to fight dirty, Seamus, date a life for Quentin Elliott, ignore inmate Suki Cruz. Best warden, Scotty Bard and Carmine. Wait, are there, what are the only two wardens? Favorite guard, Ely Knox. This is really nice. Holy shit. It's really well made too. Damn. What the fuck? There's a shank in the back of this. Published by New Epsilon. Okay. What's this one? Maybe to build a community of compassion, connection, and curiosity. I think I've read this, haven't I? I think I've read this already, yeah. They've got a pen pal program. Damn. This is really well done. What does that say? New Epsilon seeks out ways to unknow what we know, learn who we really are, and confront the real truth. There's so much fucking out. Tiny. So much about the universe we don't know, and so much we already know. Take a leap, expand your mind. Music's fucking freaking me out, man. What's this one? Hey, what's this? New holiday card? 100% of her. Wait, it's actually a fucking Keith Flom leaflet? What the fuck? What did that say? Epsilon program. Join the Children of Christ. There's so many books. The Golden Bible. I feel like I've read this one too. Blank. I have a feeling it probably shouldn't be blank. I've seen one. STTW. What does it fucking mean, bruv?
How are you?
Brother. I need somebody. No marshals. STTWC. Get the fucking way, man. 1920. Come on, Dyke, do it. No, I can't. Oh, books.
Mariaco! Wow, was that aliens?
Oh. A lot. Depths. Huh? Depths. Another. What the fuck? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Hold on a second. Oh my god. Hey, honey.
I have wrapped up. What's up?
But we never really got to chat about what happened the other day.
Not wrong. Where you at?
I can head up to wherever. I'm just staying a bit right now, trying to fix something out.
How about we head to... I don't know. Where should we go?
I mean, the observatory works, you know. We can go there.
I don't like it there.
We can go to the Vinewood Shine, somewhere out the way. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, I'll see you there soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye. How did we find that? Fucking randomly on the fucking ground, dude. What the fuck? I need to read it properly once we get here. Right. Vinewood sign is... I think it's to do with, like, the zebra Margot shit. I very much doubt it's connected. I just had an idea. I just had an idea. Don't let me forget this one. Because I need to get up to the and fucking Google it. But, like, we're talking about the Oracle, right? And fucking prophecies and shit. Was there any prophecies that were supposed to come true in fucking 2023? I guess we'll have to fucking look it up, but... Wait. Also, I'm thinking in the fucking Gregorian calendar where the fuck we are. What about if I need to think in like another calendar? Hey, this might be a nice place for a new pick. This way. That lighting, man. Beautiful. I'm hoping it's something incredibly simple and obvious. Heck you, man. Prophecies for 2023. Anything? Any like end of the world shit? Nostradamus 4 predictions for 2024. That is not what I want. I want 2023, man. Cost of living. Well, I mean, he's not wrong. I can't see anything. Yeah. I'll come back to that. Well, what about like alternative calendar? List of calendars. Maybe the Egyptian calendar? Oh, hey, honey.
Hey.
Maybe not. Back. Looking at
a nice green.
Yeah, I don't know why this one's green.
Anyways, sorry.
Right. You okay?
Yeah, I think. I mean, I don't know what he wants of me. I mean, I do, but I don't, but I do. I don't know.
What do you think you
A
want?
lot of our well, I mean, you know, the whole ring conversation, but like I feel like I get a fairly decent read on people, and it seems like the original intent was to create a rift between us of sorts. the mention of, Norman and um, the whole, did Richard tell you about his conversation and stuff like that? It was like very he was trying to plant seeds essentially, like seeds of doubt,
Yeah.
which I've said this before and I will say it again. Um, if you're doing something, there's reason behind it. I'm not going to second guess you. If I'm aware of it beforehand and I think it's stupid, I mean, I'll let you know, but I also know that you're likely not going to change what you intend on doing regardless. Like you are very dead set in your ways. Um, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how he expects me to get said ring. I don't even know if that's what his intent was. I don't know if it was the intent was to get me to speak to you for you to attempt to do. I don't know. There's just so many unknowns that it's difficult to get like a solid read on the situation. But the beginning was definitely him trying to plant seeds of doubt for sure.
Mm. I spoke with him. I didn't intend to, but I wanted to check to see if anyone was over at the lighthouse. He somehow knew I was there, so he called me up, then drove up the mountain. He's on. He's saying stuff that I haven't really heard from him before, or maybe I just haven't asked, or just haven't had the want to talk to him. But he said things like how he he wants us to feel pain and to suffer, so that we get reminded that we're still alive. And then he wants to do it to make us stronger.
I questioned him on that because he did bring that up. And I was like, if that's the case, then why did you originally give Richard the cure? Thing is, I don't remember exactly what he said, but the stuff that was being mentioned was not adding up. And sure, I may lack context, but it you know what I mean? Like if he's saying that and he's now said it twice, once to me and now to you, why give you the cure? I don't know. I mean, logic it doesn't make sense, right? It defeats the purpose of what he told both you and me.
I don't know. I don't know whether he's doing it to try and get people on his side, and get them working for him, or whether that's what he truly believes.
He also said, oh my god, I'm not gonna lie, I was mentally not all there that day. I think the implication was that Norman isn't Norman. Um, he said he was looking for his sibling or brother. Again, I was not in a mental state to be entertaining any sort of fruitful conversation. I'm sort of just like spitfiring random stuff that I recall. Um, the same thing with, I believe, him, as in he's not Isaac. Uh, and I could be wrong, but during a conversation, I think he made mention that, like, once he gets what he wants, he'll no longer I think the implication was no longer would need Isaac's body.
That's what he
I
said to
don't
me, yeah.
I don't know. Were they brothers?
They were,
Just a quick
yeah.
okay. The thing is, when I had that conversation with Snoopy, and I know you're probably not his biggest fan considering what I told you about him, but um, I couldn't recall the specific details because, like I said, we've spent many, many, many years like just suppressing those memories and not talking about it, not thinking about it, and those details kind of slipped my mind. Um, I don't know if I went into detail regarding the ring. What I do know is that it was a ring that Olivia Copper used to have, and at some point, Norman now has it. It- Unrelated to the ring, though, what confused me was he was again the implication was that like Norman isn't Norman. It's
From what I
not his
understand, I think
brother.
what he's trying to point out that Norman is a parasite that is attached itself to, that entity, I guess, and Pestilence doesn't like that. I think Isaac's gone, so what we've been talking to is just Pestilence in Isaac's body. So he wants Norman gone.
What I don't understand is he mentioned that if I recall correctly, he asked me like, "Is what Norman is doing like?" I want to say the word he
Natural.
used was yes.
He
Um,
asked me the same.
but the thing is, like bringing somebody back to life, that's not it's not natural, but it's what Norman's always done. So I don't understand where he's coming from.
I
None of
think
what happens there is natural. Deal making, like it almost seemed like he was trying to say that the like deal making process, the people going there and whatnot, like Norman is the problem, but Norman's always been that way. I don't think anything has changed, at least not that I'm aware of.
no, I don't think so either. But I think its point is that Norman has taken over from what came before him and is doing things that, I guess, if we look at it like a job or a position, Norman is doing things unnatural to that position, and Pestilence doesn't like that.
Why didn't he take issue with this years ago?
Because I don't think that was fully Pestilence yet. I think that was still Isaac. Back then they were allied in that they'd both taken over things that they weren't before. Now, I think Isaac's gone. Nothing of him left other than the look.
Okay, and just to clarify, so I make sure I'm on the same page. We're talking about four different people. There's Isaac, then there's Pestilence, then there's Norman, then there's Death, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Isaac and Norman, brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And how come when Pestilence is referring to well, I guess he never really clarifies if he's speaking about Norman or Death.
I think he's probably talking about Death when he refers to his brother.
Okay, so again, just trying to make sure I understand properly. Isaac is the physical being of Pestilence.
Mm-hmm.
Norman, physical being of death.
Yeah.
Isaac is the brother of Norman.
Was, yeah, because they're both dead.
Okay, but if Pestilence is having these conversations referring to his brother, does that work?
I think he's referring to death. Like, I think, you know, death, pestilence, famine, and war probably consider each other siblings, is my guess.
Okay. I guess that makes sense, but I don't know. I don't trust the guy. I don't want to trust the guy, but like, what else is there to do?
I think there's a way out of this. I just don't know what it is. Isaac, or Pestilence, thinks, or has said that we get that ring off Norman, then he sheds his Isaac form and the timeline gets pushed back. Timeline referencing the end of everything, right? I asked him specifically if that ring was gone, if Norman disappeared and he was removed, then how would that change things? And he said the timeline would be shifted back. So, in other words, what Pestilence is saying is that Norman's deals and all the stuff he's been doing and interfering has pushed us to a point that the four of them are going to turn up. So,
Okay. The third being faceless.
that's an assumption, yeah. We don't know for sure yet.
What about the fourth?
Famine.
In what capacity?
Well, don't know yet. There's, from my conversation that I had with the Faceless the other night, they basically admitted that they're the ones shoveling class 2s onto the streets. And when you look at it in a not so literal way, handing the city weapons and causing pain and suffering, and I mean, that's pretty on the nose for war. So I imagine if famine turns up, we're going to have another physical manifestation in some form, but I don't know what that could look like. I don't know who that could look like.
I don't know. I think the part that bothers me the most is if he obtains said ring, right? Obviously, it means a lot. It means a hell of a lot if the only thing he wants is a ring from Norman. Like, clearly, this ring has significance to it. And more than just being a physical ring that looks nice, right? Are we not just putting the equivalent of I guess what I'm trying to say is like, aren't we just wouldn't we just let Pestilence take control? You know what I mean? Like, what if it gives him the ability to do something that he doesn't have now that would otherwise not control, but give him more leverage?
That's the issue. I don't know. I don't know whether it would or it wouldn't. What we got to figure out, but I don't even know if that's the kind of thing we can figure out. I can tell you what I'm working on right now is a way to take the faceless off the table somehow. But
How do you
again,
plan on doing that?
it stays between you and me, but we got a warning from somebody who had worked with the faceless prior. Talked about a group called the Oracle. Apparently they're a bunch of like code breakers or something that would be capable of taking the faceless's, network down. But the only clues we got was a couple of twats and them group that is the Oracle.
What do the tots contain?
The one was like a message. The one said that when the unknown rules the streets, a silent force awakens to reclaim the dawn. And then the second tweet the day after was just, it was all in capitals and it was S.T.T.W.C. That was it.
Repeat that?
S.T.T.W.C.
Lowercase or uppercase?
Uppercase. So I'm trying to figure out what that is. I figure that's some kind of code, given the nature of their group.
They were all in all caps?
Yeah. In all caps, S.T.T.W.C. I don't know what it is. I've tried converting. I've run it through a Caesar cipher that doesn't give me anything. I even used a fucking Wordle solver because I thought maybe the dots were like missing letters or something. But the only word that would work is like twitches, but that doesn't really make any sense. So then I converted the letters to numbers, and that could be something, but I haven't figured it out yet because it's 19.20.2023.3. I thought it might be a date, but you can't have the 19th of the 20th month or the 20th of the 19th month. It don't make any sense.
Huh.
Yeah. So
And
maybe
nobody has figured out the S dot
not that I know of.
TW.C.
And then I think for the PD side of things, the only people that were working on this was me and Ashira, and she's no longer employed.
Wonderful.
Yeah. I don't know. Pestilence, I don't know why he wanted to speak to you specifically. And I'm sorry that happened.
Well, no, I just want you to know that despite your text, the reason I didn't leave was because, I mean, quite frankly, I did. I would just anticipate getting worse. So it's kind of pointless. And he kind of showed up fairly quickly. And conversation was going to happen at some point.
Yeah. Etta got another visit from a chicken man the other day. He was watching the house, but he cleared out. But a bunch of the couple of her chickens died, and some of the locals were dead on her porch too. Same thing as us.
Wonderful.
I understand your feelings of, I guess, hopelessness. I get it. You know, Jackie and Jenny, they were contacted too, and then they were hunted by the chicken man.
Well, I would assume, early assumption, assume Jackie would be contacted given his involvement with Copper, his involvement with Norman, and it being likely that he would assist in trying to obtain said ring, you know?
Yeah, maybe. I think he said he spoke to both Norman and Pest. I had no idea until I called Jackie to try and see if he remembered anything about the chicken man. Then we met up and he was like, yeah, the guy's been chasing me around all day. So. And you know about Winston, right?
Yeah. That had told me. It was the day that a bunch of the PD got shot by the lighthouse by a shotgun. It was one of those, like, given everything that already happened, I was already at my threshold. But, like, given what Etta was going through, strangely enough, and this doesn't happen very often, but, like, hearing that Sean was going into ICU, hearing that Norman showed up, hearing that Norman dropped Winston's heart into Etta's hands. Like, what was I gonna do? I mean, there's nothing in the moment that I could do other than listen, but I don't know. Speaking to Pestilence the other day, he pretty much told me I can't just have my blinders on.
He
I
told
don't
you
know what the
that?
fuck else. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get him. Itch.
I don't either. I did speak with Eric a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
This is when you were missing. There was a lot of mention of the white feather, mention of hope. Um, I'm assuming someone struck a deal and needs 5 of these feathers. I don't quite know who. I don't know if I brought this up to you, but I think they have 3. You've been mentioned as somebody with one, and I don't know if it's Eric with the Andy with the. I don't know. I don't know, but
It's Edgar de Castillo. He had struck a deal with Norman a while back after he killed Aaliyah Court. Do you remember her?
not exactly. Wait, was that EMS?
She was a DOC.
No, no, wrong person. Sorry.
She was a DOC. Ended up basically trying to steal a bunch of contraband and guns from prison. I think she was working as like a manner clean person and had to grow up in her house. Regardless, I think her and Edgar were pretty close. Edgar had, I think he loved her and helped her fake her own death a few days before her court case. But then, for whatever reason, I don't know why, a while later, after she turns back up alive, he kills her. He killed the woman he loved, and I think he spiraled from there. Made a deal with Norman to bring her back. And I think it must have been, I don't exactly know the details, but he then went on to murder 5 or 6 different people at or around the lighthouse. And then I think eventually Norman gave him a name of someone that he needed to kill, and that person was Sonia Summers. So one day, the same day that Matthew Colby was apprehended, there was a situation at the lighthouse that Edgar went into the lighthouse and he never came out. So he died that day, and or as I'm aware, he's been stuck in purgatory since. And it was TJ Walker, yeah, dead TJ Walker, that informed Edgar's friends that if they gathered up 5 white feathers, Edgar would be able to be brought back.
Does that not mean that there's going to be a target on your back?
I thought so. But I've had 4 people contact me about that feather, and none of them have tried anything. They've all been very respectful and not trying to take it forcibly. I'll be honest, initially I offered it up in exchange for information on the faceless, given the people that were asking. But those same people then went on to work with Pestilence. So I don't really know. Well, I do know that that whole group is splintered at the minute. Because another deal was made and it went bad.
That why Barrick then told me that the deal's kind of off the table, no longer exists, because whatever
Maybe.
you're mentioning now.
I'm not sure. It's possible. Another one of that group made a deal to try and bring Edgar back. And I think he was given a list of names that he had to go after. And he didn't meet the quota in time, and so he's also dead. It's just a never-ending spiral. But at this point, if I can offer up my feather to help one of them get out, I'm gonna do it.
Barrick was telling me that and this is something I feel like Balto would have more context of, because again, it's been so long not thinking about any of this. I remember Balto was very familiar with a lot of what happened and specifically the birds, but Eric made mention of white bird called Hope, um, and how I don't remember if he went into specifics, but something to the extent of like Hope is able to not absorb's not the word I'm looking for, but like Hope is able to like I guess withstand the sickness. I guess from pestilence. I'm assuming, um,
Mm.
and recover from it. Um, the thing is, if people are making deals and they need 5 of these feathers in order to do whatever it is they want to do, like it's more than just something with pestilence. You know what I mean? Unless Norman himself needs 5 of them to achieve a personal goal dealing with, death, rather dealing with pestilence. I don't know. And if
We
that's the case, that's very dangerous. Like people are gonna play into the, the hands of death and then give them what he needs to do worse. And then they're all gonna be back at square one, because what do people in positions like that do when they need something? They take people who are vulnerable, who have been on the receiving end of some kind of benefit, and either guilt trip them or force them to do something because they've done it before. If you've ever watched any series, any show where there's a person in trouble, they ask for help. They rope somebody in. That person is not just roped in for that situation. That is their go-to because it's worked once and it'll work again, and they now have leverage on said person because they assisted with whatever the first thing was. And I feel like, I mean, listen, I don't know Edgar. I don't know if he's good. I don't know if he's bad. Um, but if he comes back, I'm concerned about what the outcome of Norman or death, I guess, becomes or is now capable of doing. It could be nothing. Could be nothing, and I could just be overthinking it. But like, why else would you specifically want 5 of these feathers?
No, you're right.
Is it immunity from pestilence?
Maybe.
Because
I
if
don't know.
what I don't what I don't understand is, I remember years ago that feather would turn black around certain people. And the thing is, it never crossed my mind as like it potentially, I guess, absorbing and being able to like, withstand the sickness. I had always perceived it at the time as like, okay, this isn't good. Like, am I wrong in saying that at some point it was utilized as like not a death indicator, but like it was, I don't know how to explain it. It was just so long ago and I don't remember the specifics, but like
I remember
I
it turning
remember.
black, but I can't remember why.
Yeah, me neither. I don't know. I don't know. The concerning part is, I mean, Jordan Ackridge wanted to speak to me a couple days ago, and I pretended that I had something to respond to because what am I going to find out? That she has more. I don't want the information. I don't. I I don't care about deals other people are making because I've realized, honey, genuinely, it's a waste of time. And I bring up Jordan specifically because she felt bad about the whole chastity stuff. Um, and how she, didn't deserve it and it has been forgotten. And then my immediate mental thought was like, okay, your life is in, I don't necessarily want to say shambles, right? But like, obviously she's been dealing with a lot. She's someone who I believe would make a deal. Then we're back at square one.
Yeah.
Where it's deal after deal after deal after deal, because the moment somebody hears that they can right their wrong, which in the Edgar case is essentially what happened if he killed somebody and
Mm.
wants them to return. I would assume that to be a similar case with Jordan and Chastity. Although Jordan didn't specifically have involvement, it's more so like she feels bad that Chastity was forgotten or something to that extent, and they were good friends, and she's the only one who cares and whatnot. Um, like if you start offering, not you, but Death starts offering the ability to bring some of these people back, it's not good.
No.
It's not good because at the end of the day, um, people need to understand that there isn't always an undo button. And unfortunately, if it becomes the norm that people think, not even if not even that it has to actually exist. If they think an undo button exists, they will make decisions on a whim without contemplating the consequences under the assumption that they can very easily get it undone.
I think
And there are
you're
tons of people who would believe that.
I think you're just explaining exactly why Pestilence has turned up. Because if Norman's offering an undo button, then things aren't. The natural order is out of balance.
But am I wrong in saying he's targeting the wrong fucking people? Why not make these sorry. Why not make these people involved sick? Why me? Why you?
Yeah.
Why not the people trying to make a deal for Edgar?
I don't know. I don't know. Pestilence has said some things, like at some point he said that he was making me sick or us sick to protect us from Norman. Which I think even Norman kind of confirmed a little bit, but in a way that he said that Pestilence can only delay the inevitable for so long or something. Which kind of adds up with Pestilence saying that he's doing this to make us stronger. So I don't know whether the sickness is some way to keep us from dying at Norman's hands. I don't know.
I don't know. Like I started thinking like what if being sick makes Norman like unable to like make a deal of sorts? That's not the case because then if Pestilence